Hi, I'm Shresh, and today we're going to talk about the 17th principle of success by Jack Canfield, which is ask, ask, ask. Now, asking, despite being one of the most powerful success principles, is still a challenge that holds most people back. Now, you might be holding yourself back by not asking for the information, assistance, support, money, and time that you need to fulfill your vision and make your dreams come true. So, why are people afraid to ask? First of all, don't assume that you're going to get a no. Take the risk to ask for whatever you want. If they say no, you are no worse off than when you started. If they say yes, you're a lot better off. Just by being willing to ask, you can get a raise, you can get a donation, you can get a room with an ocean view or a discount, you can get free samples or a date with a dream guy. All you need to do is ask. So, how should you ask for something that you want? There are a couple of things to keep in mind. The first is ask as if you expect to get it, as if you're expecting a yes and not a no. Now, the second is assume you can. Don't start with the assumption that you can't get it. The third is ask someone who can give it to you, someone who has the necessary authority and decision making power. Fourth is be clear and specific. So if you want to say, I want a raise, rather try, I want a raise of $500 a month. If you want to say, I want to spend more time with you with this weekend, try, I would like to go out for dinner and a movie with you on Saturday night. Would that work for you? The fifth is ask repeatedly. When you keep on asking, even if it's the same person again and again, you might get a yes. You might get a yes on a different day. You might get a yes when the person's in a better mood. Or you might get a yes when you have new data to present or the circumstances have changed. Or maybe you have established better rapport with the individual or where the state of the economy is better. Now, just giving an example from sales, 60% of sales are made after the fourth call. And 94% of all salespeople don't give themselves a chance at 60% of the prospective buyers. You may have the capacity, but you also need to have the tenacity to close the sale. And to be successful, you have to ask, and ask. The next story is called Ask and It Shall Be Given to You. And I asked the managing director of a company, what would we have to reach for us to take, for you to take us out to an island for a week? And everyone around the table just went silent and looked at me, because obviously it was out of everyone's comfort zone to ask such a thing to the managing director. And he answered, if you reach the target of X, I'll take the whole team out for a week to the Great Barrier Reef. And this target motivated the entire team to such an extent that they did meet that target and they did go to the Great Barrier Reef eventually. And all it took was someone to ask the boss, what's it going to take? What's it going to take for you to take us out for a 1 week holiday? Now, the next story I want to talk about is of a person who had this initiative of cleaning the Mississippi River. And all that he knew is that he needs funds to clean the Mississippi River, and he was absolutely focused on it. And he saw a rich man coming out of a car, and he walked up to the person with no introduction, with no context, with no past interaction, and said, will you give me some money? And the rich man said, who are you? He said, I just want to get rid of all the garbage in the Mississippi River. And the man asked, do you have a proposal? He said, I don't know what a proposal is. So despite not even knowing what a proposal is, it was just his enthusiasm and the fact that he decided to ask that he eventually got the check to expand his Mississippi River beautification and restoration project. More important than his knowledge of fundraising was his clear desire to make a difference, his unflagging enthusiasm, and his complete dedication to the project and his willingness to ask. So what I want you to do now is I want you to make a list of things that you want that you don't ask for. This could be things that you don't ask for at home or at school or at work. And once you've listed it down, next to each one, write down how you stop yourself from asking, or what's the fear that you have that's holding you back from asking. Once you've written that down, write down what it's costing you not to ask. And lastly, write down what benefit you would get if you were to ask for it. So I'll give you two examples from my life. One is, if I want to get more sales, but I have a hesitation to ask my prospects to buy after they've rejected the proposal once or twice. After a certain number of follow-ups, I hesitate to call up again to check whether they've changed their mind. The fear in my head is, I don't want to sound too salesy. I don't want to sound like a credit card salesperson, or I don't want to irritate the other person, or I just visualize myself at the other end. If someone calls me repeatedly to ask for the same thing, I'd get irritated. So why should I irritate the other person? But because I'm hesitating to ask, or as far as existing clients, if I'm hesitating to ask for a referral to the other client, if I just get rid of that hesitation, there is only a positive upside. The positive upside is, some of those people might say, the economy has changed. Yes, we are looking for a new vendor now. Thanks for getting in touch. Yes, we can take our discussion forward, and I can make a lot more incentives, get in a lot more business in terms of sales. So that's that additional revenue for the company and additional incentive for me is what it's costing me for not asking. Now, another example is, I want to be an entrepreneur, and one of the easiest things is that I know a lot of other people, including my batchmates, who are successful entrepreneurs, and I hesitate to ask them their story or their business model or how they went about the entire process. And my fear is that they won't consider it worth their time, or they may not be interested in speaking to me, or they might feel that he's calling me just because I'm now successful and he didn't keep in touch for so many years. Why is he calling me all of a sudden? And all of these ideas in my head are holding me back. And if I do ask for help or ask for guidance, I could become a successful entrepreneur faster, or I could get the right strategy to make my organization successful and move me towards my goal. And that's what it's costing me, just to not call my acquaintances and people that I know that are successful entrepreneurs. So that brings us to the end of principle 7. In the next video, we're going to cover the 18th principle, which is reject rejection. See you in the next video.